Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be doing a product review on some new dotting tools that I received from the Dotting Center. So before we get to use these tools, I've got to make some grid lines so that we can keep everything symmetrical as possible, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm using a precasted stone that I made from the molds from the Happy Dotting Company. This is mold number 1. So it's smaller, but it's deeper or taller, and definitely great for what I wanted to do. I wanted to give it the illusion of a sea urchin. The Happy Dotting Company also makes these silicone grid lines or templates that you can use that fit over top of the stones. And they have little grooves that you could use your general charcoal pencil to make little dots, and then you can connect them. And that's what I'm doing here, just connecting those dots that I've made so that I can have nice straight lines, or as straight as possible, when I start using these new dotting tools. I was so excited when these arrived in the mail. I've been wanting to try these for so long. And once I did, totally fell in love with these. I had to do a video to show you guys just how easy they are to use. And I wanted to show you that the consistency of your dots remain the same. You don't have to continually clean off the end of your tool. So there are 7 tools in total, and they're double-ended. So you've got numbers from 1 through 14, and she coordinates these with her tutorials on YouTube. So definitely check her out on YouTube, as well as her Etsy shop to get your own tools and to see all of the other amazing products that she has available. And I will leave the links in the description below. Another thing that I really like about these tools is they're very comfortable to hold. There is a flattened part where you can grip the tool with your index finger and your thumb, and it's so comfortable. It just fits so nicely in there, and you can still get that perfect dot. So what you can see that I'm doing right now is really small dots, and they're the white ones that are going around the big gold dot. So I can get right in between there, and that's only size number 2. So I can even go smaller if I wanted to. The gold dot in the center was made with tool number 13. And like I said, I went around it with tool number 2 for the white dots. And now I'm doing tool number 5 for the light teal and for the Georgia clay. So all of these colors will be listed in the description below. Please note that they are just suggestions. They're just ones that I had around and I wanted to use for the sea urchin. So if you want to use your own colors, please go ahead. I'm just doing this as a visual, give you inspiration so that you can carry on and do your thing. I am doing a gradation of colors from light to dark, and all I did was very, very simple. I had white paint, and then I used Georgia clay and teal, and I would add a little bit of color into the white, so it was just a light color, and then I would add a little bit more for the next round of the dots, and then add a little bit more and a little bit more, so on and so forth. I continued on. As the shade got darker, I'm also increasing my tool size. So I started off with number 5 at the top, then I worked my way down, I guess up, to number 7, then to number 9, then number 10, and I finished it off with tool size number 12. And that shade of the color was the darkest of the shade. I am also keeping the dots inside the grid lines, or the little pie shapes that I created when I used the silicone guideline at the beginning. This just helps me keep things straight, or as straight as possible, because the way that a sea urchin goes is that they have these ridges that go from the top around to the bottom and give this appearance of things in line. So that's what I was trying to capture when I was making this, and really wanted to keep those lines straight. Later on, you'll see that I'm going to do some more detail work on those lines just to give it a little bit more definition to make it look more like a sea urchin. But it definitely was a very fun, quick project to do, and was great to try out these new tools. And I was just so thrilled when I got them. I had to do it, and then I had to share it with everybody because they are absolutely amazing. And if you are an extreme dodder, definitely these tools are something that you want in your arsenal. But I'm not telling you that you have to go out and buy them. That this is something that I've chosen to do. I've spent a lot of money on different types of tools, and I just have to tell you, these are the ones that I've been searching for and definitely are the best that I've ever used. And I've used quite a bit, everything from a Q-tip to a toothpick to the back ends of drill bits. Anything I could find my hands on, I used as a dotting tool. But it's really nice to finally have an actual set that is designated just for dotting. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. And if you really like it and any of the other ones that I have posted, please subscribe because I put up new content every week on Fridays. And don't forget to hit that bell so you get the notifications the moment that I've put something up. That way you won't miss a thing. If you have a question or maybe a comment that you want to leave me, please do so below in the comment section. I love to hear what your thoughts are on maybe color choice. Maybe it's not something that you like but would like to see it in a different color choice, or maybe a different angle that you would like to see this painting at or other paintings at. Whatever it is, please leave me a comment below and I will be sure to answer you. You may have noticed that I was using the edge of my tool while I was doing the dots, and I was just moving some of the paint around. What I was trying to do was to get rid of the peaks because I want to do top dots on this. So I didn't want a bump in the center. I wanted my dots to be flat. So I just used the edge of the tool to smooth that out so that it would dry flatter and I'd be able to put a really nice top dot on it. Now what I'm doing is the detail work that I was telling you about earlier. I'm using gold paint, and I started off with tool number 2 and just put little gold dots just right on the lines and put them in between the bigger dots on the either side of it. Oh, I made a mistake there, so quick and easy, rub it off, and Q-tips are always handy to have hanging around. You clean them up and just keep on going. That's what I just did there. I was in Michael's the other day and I found this paint called Ranger Liquid Pearls, and that's what I'm putting on the rock right now. And I found it in the papercraft section, not in the paint section. So I'm sure it has something to do with the paper crafting side of things, but I found it really worked well on the sea urchin. So on a sea urchin, they have like these little bumps or maybe flattened out spikes all over the dots that they have on them, and it's all symmetrical. And this paint is a really heavy body paint, so it was able to continue to stand up to give that illusion and the feel that the bumps were real, that they were there. And they dried really nice, and I was very impressed with it. And the fact that it even looks like pearls, so it would, if you imagine it underwater and the sun glistening through the water to shine on the sea urchin, this is what it would look like. I was really pleased on how it turned out. And yeah, so my suggestion is don't stick just to the paint section. Definitely check out other sections. You may find something that you can totally apply. To finish it all off and add that little extra bit, I wanted to fill in some of the dark spaces between the dots. So I used the true color of the teal and of the Georgia clay within the pie shapes of where those shaded colors are. And I just used a dotting tool, nail stylist, or embossing tool, whatever you want to call them. And I made little dots in between the bigger dots. So it just fills in a little bit more of that black space or the negative space, and just ties it all in together. And I do it all around, moving from a really small dot at the top down to a bigger dot at the bottom, but all while still using just the nail stylus. And it turned out to be a really neat effect and finished it off. Now where the lines were that I drew for the pie shapes, when I used the stencil and the General's charcoal pencil, I've put on gold dots. So I've put on bigger gold dots, and then in between those I've put one or two smaller gold dots, and it just gives it that little extra contrast that goes against those liquid pearls and keeps with the shininess of it. All in all, I was very pleased with it, loved how the tools worked, and totally impressed. Definitely go over, check out Rachel on the Dotting Center, and she's on YouTube. Check out some of her tutorials, absolutely amazing and easy to follow. And check out her Etsy shop. Definitely a lot of good stuff there. I will definitely be back to make some more purchases as well. And remember, life is what you make it, so get creative.